The names of the participants.
2. Agenda items. 3.
Calendar or
due
due
dates. 4.
Actions or tasks.
5. The main points. 6.
Decisions made by the participants.
7. Record what is the most important points. 8. Future decisions.
9.
9.
Resolution. 10. Resolved.
Out of the soup
Of being here. Drop.
like a loose sentence, a set of facts or figures systematically displayed in columns.
2C. Summing up your feelings about your previous home, would you say that you were, on the whole, show card A, read out, very satisfied, fairly satisfied, no feelings either way, rather satisfied, rather dissatisfied, very dissatisfied, don't know.
2. Agenda items.
Organisms, organizations, machines. I'll form my outline, the hinges of my arms and spine, played out in the organization, design, and governance of our spatial arrangements. A map. A set of mappable healthy or faulty organs, folding and unfolding, dressed and undressed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Our best
7.
work
1
remains
2,
mute.
3, 4, 5,
Foul
6,
smelling.
The
7.
collection of data
1,
stored
2,
in memory.
3, 4, 5, 6,
A series
7.
of records,
1, 2,
each
3,
defined
4,
by a unique
5,
key
6,
stored with it.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Low cost,
5, 6,
high
7.
density,
1, 2,
multi-story,
3, 4,
contoured
5,
landscapes,
6, 7.
a cloud
1,
of bad
2,
breath.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2,
Social memory,
3,
trickle
4,
down.
5, 6,
Tell me
7.
more about
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2,
2D.
3, 4.
Why did you move
5,
from your previous
6,
address?
7.
Write
1,
in.
2, 3, 4, 5.
If no to
6,
question 3,
7.
A,
1, 2,
why not?
3, 4, 5.
Dwelling taken by Council for slum clearance. Council wanted house for conversion. Unfit dwelling. Other. Write in.
Who we are depends on where we are and how we are seen. The ground between appearance and surveillance. Our ability to collect, gather in compliance or resistance is both an embodied and architecturally informed position. In ironing, polishing, rubbing down these desirable stories, what is left out? The difficult unmentionables hidden by a sudden proliferation of interest in my curves, hard edges. Can all our livingness be reduced to a measurable tolerance? I am thinking on a molecular scale, a kind of bodily admiration, collecting, measuring, and self-managing. The grammar of things. Thinking about how these conditions intersect, physical, environmental structure, soft and hard architectures, relationships and apparatus of control and flourishing. Dwelling, home, linger, living in the thoughts, dwell, overstay. I am opened. I am thick lime and thin cast materials. a sluggish breath on the landscape. The way you fold me and unfold me. Organisms, organizations, machines. Trying to remove the definite article, the authentic material. An attempt to acknowledge that these processes are not infallible, but something more transferable, fluid and interchangeable. A symbolic transposition of matter and clinker, tricalcium, aluminate, and calcium.
Sunlight, daylight, window cleaning, size of balcony, light balcony or not, size of garden, want garden if none, height of dwelling, drying washing problems, refuge disposal problems, lived off ground previously or not, changing attitude to living off ground, use of access area for chatting, use of access area for play, satisfaction with lift, distance dwelling to lift, problems with stairs, problems with entrances, whether activities restricted, children's play, desire for under fives to play outsides more, need to keep children quiet indoors, children safe from traffic, social aspects, nearness of close relatives, people known before coming to estate.
We weren't allowed to collapse. We were consigned to be constant reiterations of our former selves. My voice splits, is atomized dirt and data. Logarithm of pedestrian flows, grade separation, attractors and generators of movement, the depth properties of primary routes, the visibility of transition spaces,
The parts of us that are kept, our assets, key, obtainable objects and tools.
1, 2, 3, X.
apparatus, the reveal, the unseen, the new I, a translation from one media to another. Does data speak, or is it seen? eye or a mouth ventriloquist or optical soothsayer, both a simulation of space and a sight of simulation. Bodily fragments stretching the limits of body integrity. The index body is a kaleidoscope and edifying journey backwards as well as forward. The index body as a text, as a site of agency, an active archive perpetually renewed.
Mr. Wormersley said that obviously in any department that had to build something, one could only do a limited amount of research.
5, 6, 7.
They'd done an
1,
extraordinary
2,
amount of research
3,
on Park
4,
Hill,
5,
and they'd be
6,
glad if lots
7.
of other people
1,
would do as
2,
much on their
3,
schemes.
4, 5,
This was one
6,
step on the
7.
way in one
1,
direction.
2, 3,
There must be dozens of
4,
others.
5, 6, 7.
He was a bit disappointed that people had not tried other things.
5, 6, 7.
Emotional problems, social contact and social facilities. It is sometimes argued that physical design influences people's social and emotional life. In the present survey, an attempt was made to assess some of the housewives' social and emotional problems and to see whether they were related to the physical design and provision of the estate. Although every effort is made to settle applicants in the house and area of their choice, it is clearly impossible to secure maximum happiness of everybody, and there is established evidence from psychiatrists that it is not so much the defects and demerits of the building, but it is the inherent tensions of the tenants that lead to dissatisfaction in a small number of intractable cases. Social theory, however, is all very well, but the opinions of the people who live there should be the criterion by which the success or failure of Park Hill must be measured.
Public works, social work, a body complicated by rubble, remains, organisms, organisations, machines. Nothing is emphatic, solid. Everything's soft, malleable and volatile. How can we scan, collect or corrupt what I emit? Of brickwork, pavements, overturned earth and laboured landscapes to create stability and mute changes, to sustain the design intentions and to endure time, feedback in both living and lifeless systems. Fold and fold again, make a body. Organisms, organisations, machines. Which best describes your status? This structure becomes navigating eyes, moving through the governance of people, materials, processes. Held here, cradled, my eye pushes through. A systematic arrangement of data, usually in rows and columns for ready reference, denoting a bone formed by the blending together of two originally distinct bones. A temporal framework of crushed stone. the environmental long view. Once a land mass astride the equator. Validity, accuracy, precision, measurement uncertainty. They had been trying to follow Capability Brown's advice of planting the hills and flooding the valleys. They had been planting the hills with pretty high buildings. Organisms, organizations, machines, the abstract need for buildings and architectural projects to accommodate unforeseen change. To create stability and mute changes. Endure time. But what if this desire for rigidity impacts on their usefulness? Where are the blind spots?
Park Hill Part 1. Provision of amenities outside the dwellings. The problem. 1. At Park Hill, the aim must be to provide an environment within which a satisfactory family and social life can develop. 2. Inherent in the design of traditional housing on the ground is an easy contact between the house and the outside space. A, between the house and the street, and B, between the house and garden or yard. In traditional streets, there is also a sense of identity. It may be the position of a tree or a post box or the pub on the corner. This gives to the individual families a satisfying sense of belonging within the structure of society.
Common ground, like common goods, are complex and unstable. Social geographies and idiosyncratic solutions, hollowed out and stratified by class and affluence, communication and control. Dust down in playful legs on cement paths, hopscotch, long shorts, the smiles, mother your cheerful pinafore, what to keep and choosing what to smooth away. Organisms, organizations, machines. My likeness slashed between the grid and the flatness of the after image. Of gloss, of line work and silver tone. A protean realization of an architectural plan. Radical politics isn't a secretion of our brickwork. What spaces are left open for change on a human scale of unpredictability? A sprawling, singular structure, now cauterized. Move your focus stretched out limb from limb. These familiar shapes are easy to mold, pulled into the gloss of misremembered histories. Tell me more about that. Standing here skinless, a bone structure of I-beams, I embody the intimate exploration of humans and design, use